everybody, this is Roxy, Firewife Lawyer Mom, and in today's video, I am going to be answering some of your questions so that you guys can get to know me. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are new. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some questions. Now, I don't even think I've ever done a video like this before. And I figured that it would be time, since I've kind of been on YouTube for quite a bit now, for me to be able to ask you guys what kind of questions you would want to ask me. So I went ahead and posted on Instagram and Facebook, and I also posted here on YouTube asking you guys to give me some questions of things that you've wanted to know. I have had quite a bit of you follow me for a long time on here on YouTube and watch my videos, and have really loved and enjoyed so much the comments that you guys have left on my videos. And a lot of times in those videos, you guys ask certain questions and I'm not really able to get to them because, you know, just the busyness of life. And so I wanted to take this video to just give you guys a little insight into me and give you guys those answers to those questions that sometimes you guys have posted. I also got some questions from some of my Instagram followers, along with some people that I actually know, some acquaintances. So it's gonna be really fun because I'm gonna go ahead and just go through some of the questions. Now, I haven't really looked at them. I just kind of took them and copied and pasted them into a piece of paper. So I'm going to just read them, and you guys are gonna get like my first hand, answer to the question. They haven't really been prepared. So let's get started with the questions. I have about 9 questions here, so I'm gonna hopefully get through them as quick as I can so that I don't make this video too long. All right, so let's get down to our first question, and this comes from one of my followers on Instagram, and it says, I watched your emotional homeschooling through hard times video, and I'm so sorry about the loss of your mom. How have you been since then? I really love this question, and I thank you so much for your condolences and for asking this question. I've actually been doing okay. It's going to be, it's past already 6 months that my mom passed away, and it's been quite the journey going through the grief process. I do believe that it is not something that's linear. It's something that just kind of everybody experiences in a different way. But what's great is I have had a great support system with me, my husband, my children. I have some very, very close friends that have really helped me get through this difficult time. And I'm hoping that starting in 2026, it'll be like a fresh new year where I can begin to heal from all of this. And the healing's already starting to begin, but it's definitely been a journey. I'm actually now doing some grief counseling, so that's been really helpful. My grief counselor is amazing. She really gives me a lot of work to do, on my own time, journaling, doing different things to process the grief of my mom passing away. For those of you who didn't know, my mom passed away in March of this year, unexpectedly. She was very healthy, and so we are just devastated as a family and going through that. The holidays are going to definitely be tough for us, but we have each other, and we're definitely going to get through it. It has made my marriage much closer, much stronger. We've really been able to lean on each other through this, and my family as well. Like, luckily, we've been able to homeschool, and we already had a very close bond as a family. So this has just gotten us even more closer than that. So we have really seen a lot of blessings through this tragic time. But thank you so much for that person that asked that. The second question is, what advice do you have for the new homeschool mom or dad, and how do you get started? Well, this is a very, very, very loaded question because there's a lot. I could probably do an entire video on it. And I think I've done some videos on this, but what advice I have, if I could kind of bottle it up into something, it would be, just take it slow. Don't feel that you need to do all the things. Don't get on Instagram and YouTube and see what all these homeschool moms are doing and think that you have to do all of those things. Just start with a library card and great books, and have your kids read. Start to look at what kind of, start to learn your children, learn how they learn, what it is that makes them light up with excitement and definitely choose curriculum around that. And just take it slow. You know, reading, writing, math is the most important thing. That's the core. Everything else is extra. And just start with that. And you're gonna do it, you know, through if God put on your heart for you to homeschool, God's going to see you through that journey. And I have found that He has done that for me in times where I feel like I'm going to pull my hair out and it's just so frustrating. God has given me the grace to continue, and it has been just a wonderful journey. And it's taking that leap. Okay, that's the hard part, is saying I'm gonna do it, pulling your kids out of school or making that decision and starting the next day. That is the hardest part. Everything else, I truly believe God provides for. So if you want to see a separate video on kind of how to brainstorm, how to start, I do have some videos that I will link in the description box below where I did talk about that. But thank you so much for that question. The next one, this one's a kind of interesting one. I never expected to get this one, but it's interesting. What do you feel about how do you feel about adult friendships? I find it so hard to make good friends as I get older. This is an interesting one, and one that I have really been kind of focusing on in the last few years, and God has really brought that topic of adult friendships really in my life in a lot of ways. What kind of advice? Yes, it is very hard to make friends as an adult because I think we have more life experience. I think we seek friendships that are deeper as adults, and you know, people are in different stages in life. They're in different walks in their journeys of life and of their faith and all those things. And so I truly believe that if you're looking for good adult friendships, pray for it. Pray about that. Put that in prayer. God will find those people to surround you. I have been through a lot with friends in my past, and have kind of, you know, taken all of the lessons that I've learned. And I think I finally could say I am in a really, really good place with that. I have about 3 or 4 very, very, very close friends of mine. And they, you know, we're not just like one big group of friends. We're just, you know, I have 3 to 4 really great people that when I'm in a, you know, going through a valley in my life, they are there, and I get to spend a lot of time with them. We are just, you know, it's a mature friendship, and I truly believe that you as a mom need that, because your husband is great, and I always say my husband's my best friend, and that's awesome, but there's certain things that adult friendships with other women, with other moms will really fill your cup. And I'm very grateful because I have that in my life, and I will, you know, I've learned so much throughout the process of it, and I truly believe that now I'm very content with my friends. However, I'm always open to meeting more friends, and have actually met a few friends as of lately. My daughter started a new dance studio this year, so I am meeting some new moms, and that's really exciting. Really, really great people. So, you know, I love people and I love meeting people, and you know, we'll see, but I'm really open to surrendering now with, you know, who God brings into my life. And the good thing is God has always also shown me people that need to leave my life. And so, so I'm in a really good place with that. And I hope that you who asked this question will find great people to surround. And you don't need a lot, that I can tell you. You don't need a lot. You don't need 25. You don't need, you know, if you get 2, 3, or 4 really, really great friends, you are beyond blessed. I always talk about to my kids, I always tell my kids that the saints, you know, some of our greatest saints in history had 1 to 2 friends by the time they passed away. So that kind of tells you what, you know, we can have a lot of acquaintances, but those who you put into your inner circle definitely need to be people of good character, and people that are going to make you better, that are going to make you be a better person, be a better mom, be a better wife, people that are going to influence you well. And that's what you need. That's really what you need. And I'm grateful for those people in my life. They know who they are. They're probably watching this video, but I'm very grateful for them. And I don't think I could have gone through the death of my mom without them. They really pulled together I had never even seen. And so I'm really grateful for that. Great question. Okay, the next one. You seem to juggle so much, homeschooling, working, taking care of your home. What do you do in your downtime? Okay, I like this. I like this question. What do I do in my downtime? Well, I don't have a lot of downtime, but I do like to do my YouTube. I love doing YouTube videos. I love editing YouTube videos. I like being on Pinterest. I like looking at different ideas for decorating my home. I definitely, one of the things I do kind of as my own, like my self-care is I get my nails done every week, every 2 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks. I get my nails done. I get a manicure, I get a pedicure. You know, that may seem bougie to some of you, but that is like, for me, that's my way of taking care of myself, because, you know, a lot of us as moms, we know we are always last, you know, the kids, the husband, the house, everything. And then, you know, there's times. Also, something I like to do is hang out with my friends, with my mom friends. We do a lot of game nights. I have a book club. We have a book club that we get together and we talk about the books that we read. So we do that. And we have a lot of game nights. We play all different kinds of games and have so much fun and laugh our pants off, and it's really great. So I like to do that. I have a few friends that we have dinner every month, a couple of really good mom friends that we have dinners every month. And just kind of, you know, I like to just be in my home doing organizational projects. I like going for golf cart rides in my neighborhood with my family. We love doing movie nights. I love watching movies and shows. I don't watch too many shows because I read a lot. So that's another thing I do in my downtime. I do a lot of reading. I do audiobooks, but I also read a lot of, you know, books about parenting, books about just being a mom and homeschooling, because, you know, we always want to continue to get better and all of that. I do a lot of, I have some downtime in the morning before I get ready for my day, which you guys know. I get up at 5, I do scripture study and a lot of prayer and meditation. That really helps with, you know, kind of juggling everything when I'm able to take those moments and just center myself. So, so that's what I do. And I'm very, very organized, and I have a lot of systems. And I think that's how I keep, you know, all the balls in the air, is that I'm a very disciplined person. I was raised that way. My parents raised me that way. And so I'm able to do a lot of time management. And I think that that's kind of how I juggle all the things. Because a lot of people ask me that in like my personal life. They're like, how do you do everything? How are you working part-time and homeschooling and doing all the things? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just high functioning, people. I don't know. Are you high functioning? And for you, it's just kind of like you do all the things and you're just like, I don't know, I do them, I just do them. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely try, and I'm not perfect at it, but I try to get that downtime to help me kind of recuperate from the busy week. Okay, next question. What are your plans for Christmas school this year? Oh, I'm already in the works of that. So as you guys know, when Halloween hits, I start going crazy with planning for Christmas homeschool, all the things. As you guys know, we do Christmas school. So we take December and we kind of modify our schedule and our curriculum to incorporate Christmas into our homeschool. I will be sharing that in a future video. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, because then you will know when it comes out, because I am going to try to get that video out. I will be going out of town in November, so I'm gonna try to get it out before then so you guys know what we're doing, but I've got some fun plans for Christmas. Next question. I see you are a mom to a competitive dancer. How is it being a dance mom? My child is interested in competing next year, but I don't know if I want to get into that world. Good question. Well, yes, I have been a dance mom for, since my daughter was 6 and she's 13. She's almost 14 in January. So quite a bit of time. And, you know, my advice is to start small. Do, you know, just a little bit, kind of dab your foot in there, and do maybe, you know, have your child do 1 or 2 dances for competitions, you know, and see how you like it, see how you like the schedule. It is a sacrifice for sure. I mean, you have to travel, and, you know, there's a lot of training that they have to do. My daughter does a lot of training and is very dedicated to the sport of dance. And we support that for her, but definitely find a way to balance that with family life. You know, you never want to have, you know, things that are unbalanced where you're focusing so much on dance mom life and and supporting your competitive dancer, and then, you know, kind of lag on your family life. So definitely keep a good balance. Find a great studio that, you know, kind of shares your values, and that your child shares values with the kids that go there, and a place where, you know, they're going to foster most of all the learning and the skills that will hopefully take them to, you know, later on in life that they could be able to apply. Find a good place with good teachers that are supportive. It's kind of hard. The dance world is not always super great in some places, but just try to find a positive atmosphere that's going to foster your child's love of dance and never steal her joy of dance. But for us, it's been great. We're at a new studio now, and we're just really happy with where we're at. And hopefully this will be the studio that my daughter graduates from, which would be a blessing for us. Okay, next question. How do you find time to connect with your husband? Good question, good question. We find different ways. Now, my husband's a firefighter. I think I did a whole video on this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I did a video on being married to a first responder. My husband's a firefighter and has a different kind of schedule. You know, he's not home every day, and he works, you know, one shift, then he's off for a few days. So we find time to connect in many different ways, whether it be, you know, we just kind of put the kids to bed and hang out outside in the patio and just chat, or we do date nights. At least we try to do once a month date nights, and you know, just kind of anywhere. We kind of keep it simple. We don't like try to make anything very elaborate, but just that time to connect by ourselves. We kind of go on bike rides in the neighborhood or on golf cart rides together, and you know, just find little pockets in our day to connect. So that's super important. I always am a firm believer that, you know, your marriage is first, and then from that, if you put your marriage first as the #1 priority, everything else in your family will trickle down. That love, that affection, that passion will trickle down to the rest of the family and to your family life as a whole. So never, and always date your spouse. I totally am a believer of that. Date your spouse. So important to keep that, because again, your children will grow, and this is the person that you are going to be with for the rest of your life. So, you know, definitely put that in as a priority, even though sometimes we have to schedule it in. That's totally fine. But, you know, we really try to find it. Now, we're not perfect about it, and sometimes like we go through very busy seasons of life, but we try to do as best that we can, and it's great. Good question too. Okay, 2 more questions and then we're done. All right, the next one is, as your daughter gets closer to high school, I guess they're talking about my oldest daughter, are you going to homeschool till they go to college? Do you feel your child will miss out on the, and they put this in quotes, high school experience? That is a great question. Do I plan on homeschooling her through high school? Yes, absolutely. I am firmly and fully committed to homeschooling. It's just, you know, it's the best. It's the best form of education, in my opinion. It is the best way to preserve their childhood and their innocence, and to allow them to love learning. And it's just, for me, it is the best, and it is the best form of education. I have done private school. I have done multiple private schools. I have spent a lot of money on these schools, and nothing is like what I have at home, and how my daughter has really thrived in our homeschool. And I have been able to preserve her innocence, which is fantastic, in the sense that she is, you know, her age. She's 13, and she's a 13-year-old that, you know, will have no problem playing with other kids that are younger or older. Like, she's, you know, she is just a joy to be around, and I don't have to deal with that, like, teenage attitude, even though I do sometimes. But it's not as bad as some other situations. But yes, I do plan on homeschooling her until the end. We are going to be here. I know that sometimes, especially here on YouTube lately, I've seen a lot of moms that have been homeschooling like 4 years. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen this too. 4 years they've been homeschooling, and all of a sudden, after all the times that they've been talking about how homeschooling is the best, they put their kids in school. And, you know, listen, everybody has their own family situations, but it always breaks my heart because I'm like, I've been following you forever on, you know, YouTube, and you told me homeschooling is great. And I'm like, you know, you're like a mentor and you're putting your kids back in school. But, you know, everybody's got different situations in life. But the next question that was part of that question is, do you feel your child will miss out on the high school experience? I do, but I don't. Yes, they're gonna miss on the homecoming games and the, you know, activities and all the kinds of things that they do. But I feel that we provide, like, she's got such a great group of friends, such a great, you know, community that surrounds her. Like, we do a lot of things that she probably wouldn't be able to do if she was in high school. So, and also she's not missing the bad parts of high school, which I feel like overshadow sometimes the good things because of the experiences that she gets to have. You know, we do a lot of traveling. We do, you know, a lot of different things that I feel that if she was in high school, she would not be able to do. One of the things is being a competitive dancer and dedicating as much time as she does to dance. We're able to do that because we homeschool. So yeah, you know, she's gonna miss, obviously, but I just don't feel that whatever she misses in the high school experience is going to be worth what she's gaining by being home. And she's gonna be dual enrolling soon. In about probably a year or so, she's gonna be dual enrolling. And you know, I'm really excited because like the sky's the limit for her. And she's got a lot of like ideas of what she wants to do when she's older, as an adult. And, you know, I just feel that God has put us in this place for a reason. And I'm very excited about what her future is going to be. And so, yeah, I'm in it for the long haul, guys. So if you want to see homeschooling high school videos, just stick with me because I will be giving you guys that entire experience. I will hopefully, we will be doing graduation one day from our homeschool, and I'll share that journey with you guys because I can't wait. I can't wait to do all of that. Okay, last question. How do you keep your house so clean while homeschooling? Well, this person obviously has either been to my house or they've seen on Instagram my house. I don't know, but they asked me this question. So how do I keep my house so clean? Okay. Number one, I think it's personality, okay? I cannot function with clutter and disaster and mess. My brain, like, I can't deal. I cannot have a clear head and do all the things that I do if my house is a disaster. So that's the first reason. That's the first way that I keep my house clean that's just my nature. I grew up in a home where my mom stayed home and she kept our house always beautiful and organized, and I think that's what I saw at home, so I incorporated it into my house. But I have a lot of systems. Number one, I have a lot of systems, and I am very disciplined about those systems. I don't allow, clutter to go from like one day to the next day. I, try to keep up with things. I have a whole schedule on like how I kind of keep everything ordered. If you want to see a video on that, leave it in the comments below. But the kids help a lot. They have chores. They empty my dishwasher every single day. I don't have to do that. I think I only have to do it like one day, maybe 2 days. But every other day my kids are emptying the dishwasher, washing dishes. They help out a lot around the house. It's part of their contribution for living in this home, for being part of our family. They also get paid too, but they help. My husband helps. And I think I just have created a lot of organizational systems that kind of don't allow my house to get like crazy messy throughout the week. But yeah, that's what I do. It's not an easy job, but someone's got to do it, And again, like I will clean before I start homeschooling if my house is a disaster, which is not very often. And that's my kids are playing downstairs, so if you hear them. But that's it. Those are all of the questions. Thank you so much for those of you who submitted questions to me, and I hope that this was helpful in getting to know me better. Just wanted to ask if you guys want to leave in the comments videos that you want to see for the holidays. I will do my Christmas boxes that I always do for, our kind of like get ready for Christmas boxes that I do for my kids. I call them, what do I call them? Like Christmas survival kits that I do for them. I'm going going to be doing that video. I'm going to be doing my Christmas homeschool plans, maybe some decorating because we just moved into a new house. So there's a lot of new decorating that I'm gonna have to do because it's a totally different house. And so I have to see what works and what doesn't. I need to get a new Christmas tree this year because mine is already like kind of, the lights are kind of going out. So anyway, I've got a lot of content coming, so I'm excited about that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hold your hand in my hand.